I'm willing to have the conversation. Fine. If we're going to go back and charge every president who's ever committed a crime, just like any other citizen, let's do it.
Let's start with the impeachment news. Yesterday, House
Getting
Speaker
right
Kevin
into it.
McCarthy said that the House is going to begin an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. I know you were supportive of it. Some people believe this could do for him with Democrats what the indictments did for you with Republicans, rally support around him. Do you think there's any risk of that?
Look, he's a horrible president. Our country is going to hell. Whether it's impeachment or not impeachment, this man is destroying our country at the border. He's destroying it economically. Inflation's way up now. You see what happened just today.
I mean, starting out with a bang. All right. Hey, shout out to Melted Mind Media. Welcome to the party. We also got Unwanted Foe in the building. Welcome. Said, pretty sure Megyn didn't like Trump the first time around. This should be fun. Indeed, she was one of the hosts at the debate. And she was the one who said, "You've been on record saying that you've called women pigs." And he's like, "Nope, just Rosie O'Donnell," which was one of the greatest moments in presidential debate history. And again, big shout out to Melted Mind Media, another awesome YouTuber. Definitely go check out his channel. Just drop the link in the description. Welcome, guys.
It's up to them if they want to do impeachment or impeachment inquiry. I never had an inquiry. Nancy Pelosi, crazy Nancy, said, "We're going to impeach him." They didn't do inquiries. They went out and they voted because they had the votes. And as usual, everybody votes, for the Democrats. It's a little bit easier. They didn't have Mitt Romneys of the world, and that's really nice because now he's not running today, as you know. He just announced. I think that's great for the Republican Party, for the country, and for Utah. But that's going to be up to them whether or not they want to do it. I have no idea whether they will or not. We do have a lot of other things, but it's quite important. And they did it to me. And had they not done it to me, I think, and nobody officially said this, but I think had they not done it to me, and I'm very popular in the region, they like me and I like them, the Republican Party, perhaps you wouldn't have it being done to them. And this is going to happen with indictments too. They have fake indictments. And I think you're going to see that as time goes by. You're going to see Republicans when they're in power doing it. And it's a shame when that happens. I'm not in favor of that, but that's what's going to happen.
That is what's going to happen. They're the ones who've established that this is how we do things now. They set the precedent of going after, your opponent in the news and stuff like that, and just not a good precedent to set. Trump brings up an interesting point that there was no inquiry into, well, should we not? And fair enough. If he had what was reasonable for him to be impeached, where was the inquiry? Good point. Shout out to David. Welcome to the party. So the guy who ran on Lock Her Up doesn't want to go the route of indicting a political opposition? Yes, correct. Because that was the according to you, that was the worst thing ever. So that was kind of dropped and put in the back seat, unfortunately, because now y'all are doing the same thing. It was sedition. It was breaking down our democracy when he did it. But this time around, it's all good.
Because that's human nature.
Would you do it if you became president again? Turn the indictment tables on the
Well, I would
Dems?
think about it differently. I would have never even thought of doing it, but now you certainly have to think about it differently. It doesn't mean I do it, because I think it's so bad for the country. Yesterday, President Putin of Russia used this as an example of what a rotten country we are, that they go after their political opponent. And other countries are doing that too. Other countries that don't like us are doing that. They're saying it's a bigger story.
And that's also, again, a great point, that a lot of this isn't necessarily about, oh, did he do this thing? Did he do that thing? At the end of the day, we do have to realize we're all on the same team. We're all Americans. And when we're at the doorstep of World War III, then optics really, really, really matter. And so, again, I'm willing to have the conversation. Fine. If we're going to go back and charge every president who's ever committed a crime, just like any other citizen, let's do it. But why now? Why now? Why all of a sudden was it fine when Reagan was doing whatever, when Bush was doing whatever, when the other Bush was doing whatever, when Obama was doing whatever? Why is it okay then? But all of a sudden, at the worst possible time on the world stage, let's do it. It says, I mean, yeah, the actions are materially different, but the concept is precisely and exactly the same. Precisely and exactly the same. So I'm with you. I would be down to lock up Hillary, and I would be down to lock up Trump and Biden and Obama and all of them if that is what we are doing. Right now is not the time to start doing that. Right now is not the time to start doing that. That's why he said lock her up was one of the things that killed his 2020 campaign. He should have stuck to his word. Based. I mean, I disagree for the exact same reason. I think it was the right thing to let that go for exactly the reason that we don't want to set that precedent. Exactly what I'm telling David, that I don't want, like, if we're going to do it, let's do it. But we have a political and social norm that, you know, we say nobody's above the law, but presidents kind of are above the law. And if we want to, again, if we want to change that, we can change that. But don't act like changing it right now is just like, well, we got to do what's right. Don't act like it's not specifically about going after Trump. That's all.
They love it because it makes us look very bad. It makes us look very bad. And they're fake indictments. There's Fannie Willis and all of these people. These are all fake indictments. And I don't know how much my polls have gone. I was doing well before this, but I don't know what impact it's had on my polls, but we're way up above the Republicans and we're way up on Biden.
Well, let's talk about the allegations against the Bidens for a minute, because this was something you tried to raise when you ran against Biden in 2020. I watched you at that presidential debate try to raise these very issues that now the House is investigating.
Right.
Why do you think that didn't gain traction?
Well, it's different when it's a Republican doing it and a Democrat. The press is fake news. I think I'm very proud of certain things. I've shown open borders. I've shown crime. I've shown a lot of things, but I've also shown that the press is fake. And if I say something, even if it's true, they don't want to talk about it. You know, it's really what they don't talk about more than what they talk about. They don't.
True. It's true. There's so much that, you know, even when, you know, you talk about what Trump has done wrong, and you, depending on what you're talking about, you might be right. You might be right. But when you've created a culture of everything orange man bad, as they call it, then it makes it very hard to decipher. Like, okay, are you somebody who's looking at this objectively, or are you just one of them who's looking to throw whatever you can at Trump? Shout out to Xander Crew. Welcome to the party. Said COVID killed his campaign in 2020. Mail-in ballots and the left elite panicking that he might get in there again. I honestly believe there's nothing he could have done except ballot harvest as well. Well, that's exactly why I agree with you. That's exactly why this time around we have to make sure that wherever it is legal, we have to do exactly what they did. They changed the rules to ballot harvesting being a huge way to gain votes. And, you know, we just didn't. I want to folks said TDS is why it didn't gain traction. Is it? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Because I mean okay, I just go straight to ad homs. All right, cool. I think that if we were in I still disagree. Because I think that there is a legitimate, even though obviously she was never president, she held office high enough that by him making that running on the campaign, making that something that he ran his campaign on, I think it cornered the media at least into painting that as something fake. Whereas I think if he had addressed it afterwards, he had enough to win. And I think if he had addressed that as something that was on the docket for when he was in office, then it would have gone a lot further. Melton Media said we should not set that persistent or that precedent. We should not. Exactly. Xander said, not sure he can do anything now as they are more vicious than ever before. Surprised he isn't in an orange jumpsuit still. I mean, they're trying. They are trying. Your dad says a lot of people's view on Trump changed after January 6th. And I don't really want to say I don't really understand why. Of course I understand why. But if people understood what was really going on and the small, we can chalk up all the crazy left-wing stuff to, the fringe. Whereas you have a legitimately small group of people doing something on January 6th, but that's all Trump supporters. It's media gonna media. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full live stream link in the bio and catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.